Let's get to our top story today. A major wildfire continues to burn just north of the valley this morning. This is video of the bushfire, which is burning in the Tonto National Forest. So far, it has scorched more than 89,000 acres, making it the largest wildfire burning in the country right now. And we are bringing you team coverage throughout the morning. April, taking a look at the forecast and how that has impacted the fire. We know it's made a difference in the fight. Gina, meanwhile, tracking the roadways as this fire has caused quite a few closures already. But first, we want to get straight to Gibby, who is in Fountain Hills with the latest on the evacuation orders for those living in that area. Good morning, Gibby.
Good morning, Tess. Yeah, I moved out here near the rodeo grounds off of 87 where they just had their briefing out here. And Dee Hines is joining me here, the PIO part of this briefing. Dee, we talked about this. We talked about the weather. April's been talking about it all morning long. A bit different today, but still just as dangerous.
We're expecting winds 15 to 25 today, which is a little less than yesterday, but it's still enough wind to be a real serious concern for our crews, and we do expect, again, significant fire growth because of that.
Yeah, we have about 80,000 acres, 80,089, I believe, is the number with 5% containment. And the reason why I want to talk about containment is you guys just don't yell containment numbers until you are sure that that's not going to heat back up.
Right. Containment is something that it's a call that's made on the ground. They actually what they call a cold trail along the line, looking for heat, using their hands quite literally to see if that line is solid. And until we're confident that that line is going to hold, they don't make the call that it's good and that area is contained. And so again, with these winds, that kind of adds to it's just a factor to consider when you're making that call.
Yeah, well, we saw from the chopper just earlier today, just the vast area here that's burned up. When you think of 90,000 acres, I was trying to put it in perspective for people. At a football field being 1.3 acres, you're looking at 68,000 football fields, and that's the area that this is burned here.
It's a lot of area. If you draw, it's 90,000 acres. It's a little hard to get your head around. Football fields, square miles, I don't know. It's a big area.
And the other thing is here's what people need to know. We see these crews heading out here. They're putting in work. They're heading around the areas that are protecting those buildings of those evacuated areas. There's a lot of work being done here.
A lot of work being done. Our assignments today are dealing with holding the lines that we've been putting in that we feel are going to hold. They're there to make sure the fire doesn't cross. In addition, they're doing a lot of what we call structure and point protection. They're prepping areas so that if the fire does begin to approach whatever it may be, they're there protecting. They'll be able to better contain it.
All right, thank you guys very much for joining me, guys. And here's the one thing that we want to put out there as well. We talked about the communities that have been evacuated already. Jake's Corner is on the set, which the fire is headed that way. They have a ready, set, go system, meaning that in the set right now, they should be gathering up the P's, right? Their prescriptions, their photos, and getting everything that they need to get out of there. Because once they get that call to go, they should safely get out and go, put all that stuff into their vehicles and leave. So that way when firefighters come in, there's not that mad scramble between firefighters and those who live in that area as they transfer over, trying to contain and get that fire away from them.
Well, Gibby, that's all great
Gina?
advice. Thank you so much for the report and the work that you've been doing this morning, keeping us all updated. So let's continue our team coverage and talk about the roadways that are closed, because we've got huge stretches of highway that are closed. Basically, these are the main thoroughfares to get to and from the Mogollon Rim, as well as the White Mountains. So the Beeline Highway is closed north of Fountain Hills, starting right at the Bush Highway all the way up to Payson. 188 is also closed now from the Beeline and now all the way down into Globe to the US 60. Just this morning, ADOT decided to close that second stretch of the 188 from basically Roosevelt down to the 60. And then the 88 is closed from Tortilla Flats up to the 188. So do you need to get to the Mogollon Rim? From the valley, I think your best bet is to head up the I-17, cut across the 260. You drop down the 87 from there, and that gets you into Payson. If you need to head to the White Mountains, Pine Top, Show Low, maybe into Greer. What you'll want to do is head out of the East Valley past Apache Junction. You take the US 60. That takes you through Superior and Globe and then up into Shiloh. Just keep in mind that as you drive through that Salt River Canyon, it is a very windy road. So if you tend to get car sick, just know that you'll need to take it easy as you make your way up the US 60.
Oh, yeah. Just coming back from the mountain on Monday night. And not only is it a windy road, but there's a lot of construction, especially through Miami. So bring your patience for sure. April, we know we're expecting another hot day. The winds have calmed down, but overall, just really awful conditions for firefighters out there.
Yeah, it's why it's fire season around here. It's hot, dry, it's occasionally windy. We got a decent round of wind yesterday, and today the winds will be a little bit lighter across parts of the state, but that will include up near the bushfire. Get this, though, when we got that new acreage mountain, this is now quickly growing to be one of Arizona's largest wildfires on record. I pulled up some of the largest fires, and this is now 7th on the list, this bushfire. So take a look at the biggest fires in Arizona history. Of course, the biggest was the Wallow Fire, closely followed there by the Rodeo Chetasky Fire, and the bushfire again now is the 7th largest. And so hopefully they can get a better handle on that today with lighter winds. In the next couple of days, we'll continue to see kind of a similar pattern. We don't see any more stronger wind events like we saw yesterday, but today those winds out of the southwest in that area from about 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting to 25 miles per hour with humidity at about 10%, so very dry, and again, hot too in the upper 90s there.